Hi, guys. This is Ynez Bevins, the intentional woman. I aspire to inspire women to mature with grace and intentionality. Today's broadcast is a continuation from last week's title, which is I Choose. So this week, I've made some choices. Okay. I'm still on this super high, right, guys? Because this past weekend, I celebrated my 22nd wedding anniversary with my husband, the Big Al. Yes, I call him my Big Al. Hi, so amazing. Thank you so much for joining the Intentional Woman live broadcast this evening. I am so excited to continue sharing on I Choose. So this week, the choice, well, I'm going to speak on it in an even broader sense. I choose to be a good wife. Guys, this is what I want to share. I have been married for 22 years. And it wasn't always easy, right? There were times when we were struggling. We were struggling emotionally. We were struggling financially. And it was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But I want to share with you that being married is a choice. Staying married is a choice. And we chose to be married and to stay married to one another. When you choose, guys, that's when things begin to connect. Things begin to connect. And that's what happened with Al and I. You know, when we first got married, we had this awesome marital bliss. When we first married, it was like we couldn't get enough of each other. It was just amazing. I love this man. First of all, I want to tell you guys that I not only love him, I like him. I like him. And loving and liking works together. I do want to share that. Okay? Because you can still be in love with someone and not like them and be very unhappy with them. Okay? But I like him. He is a good man. And what happened is I began, hi Miss Ruby, how are you? I began to make some personal decisions because when things were going bad, I didn't quite understand what role I played in this bad situation or creating this bad situation or motivating or moving the bad situation in a direction that I didn't want it to go in. When I finally realized, guys, the role I played in that situation and stop playing the blame game, because that's what I was doing initially. I was playing that blame game and I was blaming him for this and blaming him for that and saying, oh, it's your fault and it's his fault. No, you just got to see it my way. You got to see it my way. No, it's not. You've got to see it my way. It's not. I came to realize that it's how can we see it our way? Yeah, our way. And when I realized that it truly wasn't our way and not just my way, that's when things begin to change. When I made the decision to examine my own personal behavior, my relationship with Al began to shift. It began to change. I was praying and I was asking God, change this man. He this and he that. I was like, oh my God. But you know what? God showed me. I asked him to show me. I asked God to show me, how can I be a better wife to him? And God did just that. He showed me through visualization how to give value to my husband, to see what can be, that, how can I be a better wife to him? To see, I started visualizing and seeing us happier, and God gave me that power, that inner power to just do small things to propel us in a positive direction. And sometimes it was small, so small. It was something as simple as a smile. Guys, do you know that a person can look into your eyes and almost see into your soul? They can feel your unhappiness by looking into your eyes. And I no longer wanted my husband to see unhappiness. I wanted him to see and to feel joy. So I began to radiate that from myself. I stopped arguing and fussing about just pettiness and these little bitty, itty bitty things and not seeing things the way I wanted things to go for us. I started looking at and adding value to our marriage. But most of all, guys, I began to add value to myself. When I examined Ynez and began to add value to Ynez, is when things began to change. Things began to change. I chose to love me first. I had gotten lost in the confusion and in the challenges that were going on with us. And I lost sight of loving myself. When I chose to begin to love myself, then I was a better person to love him. Yes, I was a better person to love him. Yes, so amazing. Choose love and the rest will follow. There you go. I can end the broadcast now. She gave us the statement. So amazing, shared. Choose love and the rest will follow. And that's what I did. I chose to love. I chose no longer to fight, to fuss. I chose love and the rest followed. It did. I said, husband, I start using words of endearment with my husband. I call my husband honey, I know that sounds corny, and I say, honey, I'll call him and, from the bedroom, sometimes I'll just brush past him and, just touch him in a certain kind of way that would be a touch of endearment. Yes, it was those little things. And then I started watching how he began to smile as well. The way that he looked at me, it reminded me of that day that we got married. Guys, when we got married that day in 1999, May 15, 1999, when I married that man, that was the happiest day of my life. And then we started creating more of those happy days, and I was being intentional with creating those happy moments. And then he started creating those happy moments as well. I remember that our very first date, guys, was at Houston's restaurant, right? And I remember that we were kind of going through, and then all out of the blue, he asked me if I wanted to go to dinner. And I said, yeah, it was on a Sunday. I remember this like it was yesterday. And he asked me, and I said, yes. And we ended up at Houston's restaurant on St. Charles Avenue. And I knew that day, that we made that reconnection. I knew that day and at that moment, without anything being said, that he was saying, I love you. Because we went back to the place where it all began and we rekindled our love for each other. And it was just so special, guys. And I thank God for the fact that we made the choice to stay married. Because sometimes, in our hearts of hearts, that we think that, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. And I'm not going to say to you that I didn't even think that myself, that I don't want to be in this situation. But I thank God that I didn't do that, that I made the choice. I chose to stay married. And I'm glad and I'm thankful that my Big L made the choice to stay married to me as well. I love him, and I look forward to celebrating 22 more years with him. He is a good man, guys, and I hope that in marriage and in relationship that you can see your way to choose to stay. This is Ynez Bevins, the intentional woman. I aspire to inspire women to mature with grace and intentionality. Remember, intent with work brings manifestation. At this time, I'm working on bringing love into my marriage, into my relationships with others. And I thank you for following me. Please comment and share the broadcast with others. We have our Intentional Woman platform on Instagram, and we also have our Intentional Woman page on Facebook. I love you guys. Take care. Live life with intent. This is Ynez Bevins, the intentional woman. And I look forward to seeing you guys next Wednesday. One love forever. Thank you so much for following me.